Hello all, long time no see, it's Dylan Ginno back from the dead. Haven't made a video in well over a year. This is a part of my Timebank series where I kind of chronicle what's happening in my life, what's going to happen in my life and what I'm doing really. If any of you are here from the days when I used to make YouTube videos all the time, welcome back, it's great to see you all. If you follow me on Twitter, you'll know that I'm still just plodding away, doing life. If you don't follow me, links in the description down below. So what's happening in my life? Well, I am 26. I was going to record this on my birthday when I turned 26. That's my general plan, is that every year I'll record a video on my birthday. Unfortunately, this year I've had to go through quite a lot. 2 weeks before my birthday, my grandfather died, which was obviously not very nice, pretty horrible. And the week after my birthday, we had the funeral, and the day after the funeral, my other granddad died. Life happens, not very nice. It was a bit like London buses. Two came at the same time, and we thought, this is just terrible bad luck. And then about a week after my second grandfather died, we got a call from my grandmother's care home that she was probably going to die as well. So we're all just incredibly depressed at this point. Luckily she pulls through that night, but then two weeks later she then dies. So within the space of about a month and a half, I lose 3 grandparents, all around my birthday as well, so I just never felt like making a video. I'm sure you all understand. So dealing with that grief has been kind of different for me. I hadn't really experienced grief since I was 16 and my uncle died, or actually I was 15 going on 16 when my uncle died. That was my first ever experience with grief, and it felt very self-contained and like a pressure cooker at the time. I barely remember those weeks when that happened, whereas this time it's been a lot more big, and you know, I knew all my grandparents incredibly well, and they were huge parts of my childhood. But also, once they all reach 90, you just kind of expect that at some point this is going to happen. It doesn't really make it any less sad, but it's more kind of understandable. And that's the kind of inner turmoil that I kind of juggled about in my head. Is by the end, all 3 of them were quite unwell. So, you know, whilst they died, it was never like, oh my God, a life taken away type thing. It was more, it felt like the end and an appropriate time to go. Doesn't make it any less devastating to us and our families. You know, my mum, in the space of about a month and a half, lost both her parents. You know, my dad lost his dad. Luckily we still got my grandmother on my dad's side, and she's great, so she'll live another 10 years, I hope, at least. So that's what I've been going through these past couple months. But over the past year and a half since I last recorded a video, so much has changed. I have a different job. I now live in London. This is my London apartment. I've been here for about 8 months now, which is crazy. Time is just flying by now. Like I said, I'm 26 years old. I started making YouTube videos in my bedroom when I was 17. So it will have been 10 years since I started making YouTube videos next year. Obviously different account. I'm sure some of you, if you've been here since the beginning, will remember that this isn't the original Ginno account. I've had 3 iterations kind of the accounts, which is crazy to think about. I keep occasionally trying to regain access to that old account, but YouTube, Google won't budge. They're just a bunch of faceless robots at this point. They're just like, you can't get any helpful customer support there. So no chance, unfortunately, of being able to regain access to those accounts, which is a real shame, because I've really recently been quite enjoying looking back and having nostalgia about certain things. I've recently been working on a video project, and it kind of reignited that like passion for video editing and videography and things like that. So, you know, whilst my career hasn't gone the way I thought it was, I always thought I was going to go into filmmaking and script writing, things like that. I still do have that passion, even if I'm not necessarily super skilled at it, so I can't make it a career. So I've been humming and hawing about ways I can kind of do something on the side alongside my normal job, and I don't necessarily know what that is yet. So you may occasionally see things pop up on this channel that you're surprised by. Like I said, I literally haven't planned this at all. This has kind of been fermenting for the past 2 months or so. I'm now into this like settled rhythm in London where I have, my friends and my hobbies and my job. But there's like another like 3 hours of the day where I'm just kind of like, oh, well, what do I do now? I'm just gonna relax, I guess. But it'd be nice to fill that time with, I don't know, something else that's, kind of, I don't want to say a side hustle because that makes it sound like I'm all about the money, but I'm not. I just feel like there would be something else I'd want to do, and if like filmmaking and videography was that, I feel like that'd be super appropriate for me. Anyway, so that's kind of a short life update. Still doing bits and pieces, lots of baking, lots of cooking, all that good stuff. I do a lot of exercise these days. I watch a lot of films, man. I watch a lot of films. Someone literally just brought it up to me the other day that I do watch a lot of films. I do. I love them. This is what's kind of triggered this reignition of love of videography and wanted to get back into it, because I do really enjoy learning about it and doing all the technical aspects of it, even though I'm not necessarily very skilled at it. I can't use a camcorder very well. I'm not an incredible video editor. I'm not super knowledgeable about it, but I do just like it, and that's why as a hobby it could be a good outlet for me. But yeah, that's enough on that. Update on like the K-pop front. I haven't really been keeping up with it much, if I'm going to be completely honest. I feel like I lost that momentum, and it also feels like the community lost the momentum a little bit that it had in those sort of late 2010s, when everything felt super positive, and there was all these fantastic idol groups making some really, really good music. It just feels like that hype has dipped a bit, and it's become quite like its insular own community. So because I just don't make videos anymore, I don't really get much like notifications or spoken to a lot about it. So if anybody's watching this and wants to suggest some new music, please do. Put it in the comments. New albums, new music videos, that sort of thing. It'd be great to like really get back into it, because I've basically exclusively been in listening to those sort of old albums that I already know I like, and I've listened to hundreds of times or whatever. But yeah, age 26. What am I looking for to happen? Well, this next year is going to be really, really interesting. I'm kind of at the phase of my job and career where I'm taking on a lot more responsibility, and that can be a good thing and a bad thing. It's a good thing in that hopefully it will build to me being better at my job, and in the future being able to do better jobs with more money, etc. All the good stuff you want from a career. Obviously, it does mean like more pressure, more time at work, more focus on the individual bits of work I'm doing as well from everyone else at the company. So it's going to be a really interesting. Yeah. That's enough job stuff. In terms of like personal things, what I'd like to do, I've got a lot of like lovely holidays lined up, but what I really want to be able to do is start saving money. Since in Manchester I was able to save a little bit of money because it was relatively cheap up there. In London you just can't save money. But what I do want to start doing is perhaps living a little bit more frugally and saving money. I'm not going to drastically change my life, but it would be nice to kind of think about it a bit more, start saving some money. It'd be great to be able to buy a house by the time I'm 30. So, 4 years of saving up a fair bit of money. Who knows? Maybe. It certainly wouldn't be buying in London. Anyway, yeah, I'll let you know what I'm thinking in terms of future projects. Thank you very much for listening. And yeah, that's the update. Dylan Ginno, 2024, 26 years old. See you all soon.